Right, buddy, Marcus Rashford leaving Manchester United. I'm going to be talking about that. He's come up with some quotes personally himself, talking about he's ready to leave Manchester United. I'll be going through all the quote and some interesting news and opinions. So he said, "For me personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps. When I leave, it's not going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person." Listen, this has come with the interview with Henry Winter. It certainly is very interesting to think about what's happened. He talked about why being left out of the Manchester City squad would have affected him as well. He said it disheartening to be left out of the derby, but it happened when the game left me one is disappointed, but I'm also someone as I got older I can deal with the setbacks. Listen, this does look like the end of Marcus Rashford at Manchester United, and it was going to happen. The fact that he's ready for the new challenge, I think there will be internal discussions going on about his future, and I think he is ready to leave the football club, unfortunately. It's a joke, some Manchester United fans are saying. I think it's right. He's basically announced his own departure from Manchester United. It is very disappointing. I think Rashford's a good player, but some of the issues that have obviously gone on behind the scenes haven't happened. He's ready to leave the football club. He's set to leave Manchester United after being at the club since the age of 7. No one would have expected it. He's basically confirmed his own exit, and yeah, it is disappointing, but it is what it is. I think if Rashford wants to leave, he's obviously had the discussion with the hierarchy at Manchester United, and he thinks it's best for his career to leave Manchester United at this current moment. Would I have done that? No. But ultimately, he's right. It's a cultural reboot. If he's not meeting the standard, ultimately, regardless if he is a Manchester United academy player, he must leave the football club in that aspect. And I think that's ultimately what has happened. He's on 365 grand a week. He's not meeting the demands, the requirements needed to be a Manchester United player at this current moment. And it is frustrating. I think you do, and you've always wanted Rashford to be that player that succeeded at Manchester United. But the fact that he's essentially announced his own departure from Manchester United does speak numbers, and I think he's kind of fed up. I think he does need the new challenge. The new challenge will suit him good, and I think he will be someone who's more confident and will come out of this. Obviously, it's a huge risk for Manchester United letting him go, and I've seen kind of the uproar on Twitter. Many Manchester United fans don't want him to leave, but ultimately I think it's best for the football club. He's someone who's on 365 grand a week. He's not playing that. That's Mo Salah, Haaland money. No player's bigger than the club. I think some of it. I think his attitude is obviously what something's concerned about, and ultimately he doesn't fit the Ruben Amorim system. And you look at it just based on a performance perspective, not on anything else outside the pitch or what he's done. He just simply hasn't been good enough in a Manchester United shirt. He's had one good season in the last couple of seasons, and it will be very frustrating. We expect more to kind of come out in the next coming days or so, but that's really it. He's confirmed his exit from Manchester United. Rashford will probably be leaving soon for Manchester United, and that is big breaking news. It's something that it's disappointing where Rashford goes. We will have to wait and see whether that's Saudi, in the Premier League club, abroad. Barcelona have been interested, but it is sad because you want Rashford to succeed at your football club. You want him to be that player. We've tried to make him the brand. We've tried to make him the face of the club. We've tried him in different positions. In this system, he just simply is not going to work. And when a new manager comes in, new players and big players have to leave. And ultimately, he's looking like Rashford's one of them. As I said, 365 grand a week, hasn't lived up to that. He's one of the highest paid players probably in the Premier League. And yes, he scored a lot of goals, and he will be happy with his career at Manchester United, but ultimately he would have wanted more, and I think he's just not really aligning with the manager at the club. And as I said, no player is bigger than the football club, and you've got to think about that in this aspect. So I think Rashford will leave. I think it's best for all parties to kind of cut ties now. In terms of price, I don't think you'll get much for him, maybe 40-50 million at max. Whoever's interested, there will be some suitors, whether that's in January or in the summer. His exit from Manchester United does basically seem confirmed, and yeah, it's looking tough for Marcus Rashford, but we thank him because he's a great academy player. I remember when he burst onto the scene against Arsenal in 2016, his debut goal against Midtjylland in the Europa League. He is still a very talented player, but we haven't seen the consistency, and we haven't seen him prove it enough at Manchester United. Now, he said he is ready for the next steps himself. So ultimately, that's something you have to take into consideration when the player himself is talking about the exit, there obviously is some truth in there, and I do think Rashford has had enough of